So a 15-second ad is really powerful. The way that it goes is this. You first of all start off with a sentence. Who are you going forward? So once again, I'm going to talk you through the theory, and then I'm going to share with you an example of how this works. So who are you going forward in your career? What was your last position and what did you do on the job? So this might be 1 or 2 sentences. And what's your focus and what do you want to do next? So let's have a look at an example here. So the first line is, who are you going forward in your career? This was an example of a client that I coached who was in a strategic HR role, and she was wanting to move into a change director role. So who are you going forward in your career? I'm an experienced change manager. So that she had had lots of experience in change. She had just spent a lot of time in a strategic HR role, but was wanting to move back into change. So I'm an experienced change manager. The next line, your last position and what you did on the job, 2 sentences. In my most recent position, I was the change manager for an organisational redesign project for a major FMCG company. So lastly, your focus and what you want to do next. I want to progress my career so that I can enable the organisation and its people to change, transform and achieve their business goals. So you can see there that if someone was to say this straight up, this is how it would sound. I'm an experienced change manager. In my most recent position, I was the change manager for an organisational redesign project for a major FMCG company. I want to progress my career so that I can enable the organisation and its people to change, transform and achieve their business goals. So for this particular individual, this she was able to say this in a 15-second off the cuff, didn't need to make notes. She could end up, she could say this to sponsors of hers in the organisation, the recruitment team within the organisation, and also the hiring manager. So a great way to come across as really assertive and confidently being able to talk about you. So what we want to make sure of is a couple of things. So where the first sentence is, who are you going forward in your career? This is not about what have you been? This is about where you want to be. So we're very much talking about, in this example, I am an experienced change manager. So for that lady that I coached, she was an experienced change manager. She wasn't doing it in that role just then, but that's where she wanted to be. So who was she going forward in your career? You talk about that. Your last position and what you did on the job. So what I would say to you is that pull something out of your last position that relates to where you want to go forward to. If you can't find something in your last position that relates to it, then go back to the one before that. And it needs to be something in the last 3 to 6 years that you've done that's going to help you towards where you want to go forward. And what's your focus? So what do you want to do next? So in that, it's about really showing your ambition. So that's what hiring leaders love to see and recruitment managers love to see is, what's your ambition?